4 o'clock. I'd like to call this meeting to order. I'd like to ask for an approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All approved?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion approved. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, the reason we're here for the first meeting is to handle the proposed budget public hearing. And I would ask for public comment.
I'll make a motion that we open the public hearing.
Okay.
Second.
All approved?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion approved. Any public comment?
Cindy Van Fossen. My only comment is that I'm disappointed that even if you look on the proposed budget, every year the taxes that are going to be collected have increased. And I know I said in meetings, and you talk about the tax rate and how you're holding the tax rate steady, or maybe even gone down a little bit, but that's not the whole picture, because the taxes collected are calculated on the tax rate times the valuations. So if the valuations increase, it really doesn't matter what the tax rate is, or that you're holding it to last year's rate, because more taxes are being collected. If I did some calculations quickly just back here, and from the budget in 25 to 26, on the net property taxes collected, it's $52,000. Our population is 15,000. So look easily in your head, you can see that's $1,000 more per person in Page County. Now, I know my property taxes on my house are not going to go up $1,000. So that means somebody else in the county is going to get hit with a increased tax statement that is more than $1,000, because they've got to make up my difference. So, and during budget meetings, although I hear, and then I'm very thankful that you say keep things down, but I don't hear a lot of talk about how can we save. Like, what are some things we can start cutting? Because like you said, things are gonna change. And I just hope sometime over the year, as we go to the budget for next year and you know more about what the legislature is gonna do, maybe some talk about, okay, we gotta start looking at how can we do some cost savings and efficiencies. That's my comment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cindy. Any other public comment?
Albeit public comment, J.D. King.
Okay.
For the record, I'd like county to know that expenditures in the road department went down $30,000 from the previous year, and tax transfers to the road department were reduced $24,587. I mean, I'm good with this budget, but not everybody's getting more money from the taxpayers.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, JD. Any other public comment? Okay.
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Okay. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Public hearing is closed. A motion to adjourn the public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Okay. Okay. Okay, we will go ahead and open our public, excuse me, next meeting, our regular meeting.
Make a motion to call meeting to order.
Okay,
Or, I'm sorry, that's not. Approve the agenda.
approve the agenda for the next, our regular meeting.
Yep.
We'll open that at 4:05.
Second.
Okay, all in favor of the agenda?
Aye.
Aye.
All in favor? Okay, motion approved. All right, any public comment for our regular, oh, wait a minute. For the approval of the agenda, I would, if the county attorney does not come and he's in a trial right now, we may postpone talking about the engineers building this meeting, but we'll wait and see, I guess, so.
And he did not think he was going to be able to make it.
Okay, so we probably will postpone that until next week, so. Okay, is there any public comment for our regular meeting? Okay, no public comment, so we'll let JD get up for our engineers update.
JD King, Page County Engineer. The update went out yesterday afternoon. It's a fine day in Page County because it's not Monday, it's Tuesday, kind of like Monday. Blades were out in the districts. We still need rain to help us with that shaping process, hauling upper rock. I saw some trucks yesterday south of town still, but we're headed up to the northeast part of the county. Pipe crew was moving equipment and pulling out some beaver dams in preparation for doing some work on La Perla directly south of town here, where we're taking out a bridge, replacing it with a railroad tank car. Got another part of the crews working on bridges with wooden decks, wooden handrails, fixing those up. And last week, we spent Friday working on brush and tree debris left over from the storm. Mainly got it off the roads. We had three guys out Thursday evening after the storm. The whole crew was out Friday, and one guy out on Saturday. Yesterday, the foreman went up to Carroll to pick up the used single axle truck. Thank you. Motor grader number 7 got serviced last week, working on a pickup 36 that the weed commissioner's using, and his truck is ready to spray with the GPS tracking. They did some spraying earlier. It was either last week or earlier or yesterday. The bridge at Essex did sustain some damage from the winds. However, with the governor's declaration, the contractor and the county are able to use federal aid monies, bridge monies, to do that extra work. That's been completed, and they're continuing to work on forming the bridge deck. I haven't heard a new date for their pre-deck conference or the pouring of the deck itself. The crew working on the corner guardrail on J64 arrived yesterday morning. We had to sort out some trouble with the fabrication yesterday afternoon, but they did put up the corner guardrail, and they'll be working on the bridge rail this afternoon, and tomorrow should move to the Northborough Bridge on Thursday, and hopefully get that buttoned up on Friday. Then they have only one remaining bridge to do further west. Questions about the update? Now, is my agenda item, the next should be the budget and program, which you have in front of you. Anybody out in the audience want a budget and program? budget numbers in the DOT budget are the same numbers in the county budget.
Okay, so we need a motion to, of action on the Page County FY '26 DOT budget.
The total expenditure is $5,655,000. Last year's budget, or the current year's budget, $5,685,000.
You have any discussion?
Once again, numbers are the same as in the county budget.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we approve the fiscal year 26 DOT budget program.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved.
So next, turn your attention to the 5-year program. This is in tabular form. There's also a map. We also have a map on the TV on the west side. I'll talk to those projects on the map, but I do have a project that doesn't show up on the map because it's a farm to market granular resurfacing job over 80 miles, so I'm not gonna show 80 miles of that project.
What road is that on? Or
80 different miles,
80 different miles?
so it's on lots of roads,
Okay.
but not all.
And when does that happen?
We'll do that next spring,
Next spring?
using farm to market money. So I'll do a summary of the projects next, and I'll take them in chronological order. There's not I didn't add a lot of, we don't have a lot of projects because we don't have a lot of construction money. Get about $1 million in farm to market money for a year, and we get regional federal aid dollars, less than that a year, so we accumulate several years worth of money to do a project. That'd be in the green in the southeast part of the county. This would be J53 base stabilization with a hot mix asphalt surface. Because we're using federal aid dollars, we're not permitted to use our usual chip seal service because the feds don't think that's construction. I beg to differ. So I call it poor man's pavement. The next project in fiscal 2027 is the Yorktown Bridges project. Shown here, we're replacing a bridge, we're removing a bridge and not replacing it, and we're building 2,100 feet of roadway to take care of that second bridge. In other words, we can get rid of a bridge.
You had to put a culvert in, or?
No,
No?
we're just, we're putting in a new piece of a roadway that'll bypass the old bridge.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
So I could trade a little bit of grading for a bridge any day
Yep.
for cost. Next project, be over in the southwest part of the county, C Avenue. There you go. Whoa. We can hopefully take out a bridge, put in a culvert there. The next structure upstream is a single 12 by 12 box. Just in the sequence of things, working on a farm to market road. Next project would be the 170th Street for fiscal year 2028. just a bridge on 170th Street. Next year, move to the F Avenue culvert. Once again, south of Shan, southeast of Shan. Bridge being replaced with a culvert. Then in 2029, south of the C Avenue culvert, there's a bridge over the West Tarkio. We have some design work done on that. We got some other challenges, but remain optimistic that we can come to agreement with the landowner there. And finally, in 2030, a bridge up by Nyman on a curve there. That'd be, we haven't decided if we're gonna put a bridge or a culvert in there based on some hydraulics. That's several years away. We'll sort that out. You know, this program is not full of projects, but we're also, bear in mind that we're fiscally constrained here. Any questions about the program?
Got your work ahead of you.
Do you still go after grant money you still have some open grants or things that are out there that you can go after for other projects that you could add to this, or?
We'll be looking at safety projects, shoulder widening or shoulder augmentation with a little bit of asphalt shoulder up next to our slabs.
Okay.
And that safety action plan that we had a workshop with a couple months ago is part of that process.
Okay.
Do I hear a motion on
You
the
need approval?
5-year?
Do we need approval on this?
I'll make a motion to approve the 5-year plan. Secondary roads.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Thank you. Final item on the agenda this evening is a utility permit for Mid-American Energy Company. You have 2 pieces of paper associated with that. Got a tabulation of the crossings. And a map of the project to include the part in Fremont County. This is a haul road map. It's not the current map of the haul road, but it's a very handy map that shows you where the turbine sites are located, where the modifications to intersections are, and access roads. So the contractor will bore and case all crossings of Page County roads with the medium that contain medium voltage collector lines. Since the subs in Page County, all the electricity from the Fremont side will also be coming through. The part that's not bored with the collector cables will be trenched 5 feet deep. And we'll ensure that it's 5 foot deep in the road ditch also. So it'll be deeper under the road and it's cased. That'll enhance safety for that part. And you'll notice there's 85 different crossings, so a map showing each crossing, a big map showing all the crossings is not very feasible, so I have a half-inch thick collection of maps showing the crossings where they're located in the 40s. So I need the board to approve this utility permit, and then I'll send it back to Mid-Am, and they'll send it down to their contractors. Page County's been doing paperwork. The guys behind me have been doing dirt work. There's some folks here from Mid-Am and Mortensen.
Okay.
I need approval for this.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve it.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judy. Okay. Okay. All right, we'll move on to Jeff Curtis, and I see he's on Zoom.
Good afternoon, everybody. How was everybody's Easters?
Good, thanks.
Thank you.
Good, glad to hear that. Ongoing progress out at the job site, as everybody can see as they go by. Job site is getting quite a bit more busy. On average, there's 16 to 20, usually right around 16 tradespeople on site doing concrete, underground plumbing, and underground electrical. So that process is ongoing well. Yesterday, we had our first load of CMU block getting ready for our interior masonry walls. Then this morning also, we had the spec towers delivered to site, getting ready for the masons to start their process here, more likely on Monday. Today, they poured some additional foundation wall, making their way, coming back around to the west side of the building. And they've also in the process of digging interior footings where the masonry walls will be going also. So that seems to be progressing quite well. We did hold our pull plan session for our scheduling last Wednesday. The process will be finishing up our current project schedule and get that uploaded into Procore. Had a really good turnout with that and a lot of good conversation as far as the needed ongoing work, and then what we call predecessors for the other trades partners to keep going on with their work, maintaining our nice train as we keep the project going. As far as the clerical end of things, of course, everybody understands we did have the pay applications go through. We're where we need to be at on those, and then ongoing submittals. Our continuing process, getting those from our plumbing and electrical, and then also our general contracting graphite construction group. Those are going on quite well. All the pension equipment with WDSI, or it's JTA, those are in the Ventures Group's hands, getting those approvals going. Typical lead items on those are not very long, so that's been going quite well. Tony and I are in the process of getting finalized on the generator procurement that'll be coming directly through Sourcewell, i.e. Cummins. That is continue to go there. Looking at about a 25-week turnaround time once the order is placed to get the generator on site. And then with our automatic transfer switches, our ATSs are about an 18-week lead time. So with the procurement of those, they will definitely fall within our necessary project schedule. So everything seems to be ongoing there quite well. Really about all I got. Anybody have any questions for me as of right now?
It looks exciting out there.
Stop on by anytime. Are you guys receiving our daily log emails?
Yes.
Okay.
Appreciate the pictures.
There's lots of pictures. There's also some drone footage. Cody Lawrence, our superintendent's out at the kitchen project up there at the correctional facility. Also coming down there for doing drone videos for everybody. so we can keep that process going. And again, anybody who would like to stop by, please just stop in our office trailer there, go through some orientation, and then get that going. My plan is to be down on site again tomorrow, so please stop by if you guys have any questions or any concerns.
Perfect.
Okay,
All right,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
I know.
Okay. Our next item is to discuss and action our budget resolutions on number 14, 15, and 16. Our first, number 14, is the elected official current salary, proposed increase, adopted increase in the adopted salary. And do you have copies of those? The auditor is a county attorney, recorder, sheriff, that's, okay, and treasurer. Proposed increase of 3.75, except the sheriff isn't really 3.75, is it? Well, that's what we proposed. That's proposed, okay, okay, the proposed. Okay, but the adopted is not, okay. The adopted increase would be the 3.75 auditor. The county attorney is a 10% increase. The recorder is a 5.02 increase. The sheriff is 0, the supervisor and the supervisor chair is 0, and the treasurer is 5.02% increase. So I would ask for an approval for the resolution 14.2025. This is included in the budget.
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 14.
second.
All approved.
Aye.
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 I'm all approved. Okay, motion carried. Okay. Motion 15 is the resolution for the appropriations, and that is for the fund and department of each budget. That follows the approval of the accordance of 331.437 of the Code of Iowa for the 25-26 budget. And that is the auditor shall establish separate accounts for the appropriations as authorized. And I'd like a motion for that, please.
Make a motion for that.
Second.
All approved?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Okay, and
That's something we all have to sign.
I'm sorry, what?
Do we have to sign all?
Yeah,
three?
we'll pass
Okay.
them all. And then,
Oh, okay, all right.
okay, and then resolution 16 is the adoption and budget and certification of taxes for FY 25-26. For general basic 350, general supplemental 260, rural basic 2.94118, debt service for the jail 1.37487. And then the also the salaries. So I need an approval for that.
Make a motion to adopt resolution 16.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Okay. And then, okay, that takes care of that. What did you say, Kristen? You just need,
All right, then we have 17, right?
yeah, we'll get to that.
Oh, sorry.
I had just, Todd had asked if they needed to sign, and I said just the one copy.
Oh,
Yes,
right,
you had
yes.
the one copy.
Yes, I have just the one copy, yeah.
They just had copies.
So I'll just pass them on.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. And then we just need to approve the FY 26 budget. So we need a motion for that, to approve the FY '26 budget.
I make a motion to approve the 25-26 budget.
Okay? That's a
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Okay. All right, moving on to the next one, the noxious weed resolution. Okay, here's the next one.
So what's different about previous ones?
I'm sorry,
What's different about
the
this?
noxious weed?
Yeah,
The noxious weed is sent out to all property owners, and that is just talking about the primary noxious weeds, the secondary noxious weeds, and it tells the different kinds. And it tells that people should kill the noxious weeds before the weed commissioner goes out to kill them. So, because otherwise he will be destroying them. So they need to actually go out. So this will then be published in the paper.
this has been done every year and then
This is done every year, yes, yes.
Make a motion that we approve the noxious weed resolution number 17.
Okay, need a
Second.
second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Okay, Todd. Okay. Okay, our next one is to discuss the Farnsworth roof replacement proposal. I believe that was sent to you all. So we just need an approval to do that.
So here you go.
Sorry, you're fast. We need to move forward with this. And when we talked to Kelsey, we actually talked about this and we would start in April. We're a little behind on that. Then she would talk about the design in April and May. The bidding would be in June. Construction would possibly start in August. And then substantial completion maybe in November and final completion in December.
Do we get any other, do we just get one quote?
She will go out for the bids on that, I believe. Yeah, she'll go out.
And this is the architect that we
Yes.
have to pay?
Yes, we have to do that according to the Code of Iowa. Anything that is over so much, over a certain amount, we
How do
have
they
to
know that
do
it's gonna
that.
be over a certain amount if we don't have the quote yet?
Because of the insurance possibility that has come in. Because it's already come over
And how
close
much?
to $1 million for the bid, for the insurance.
I'm not signing up for $1 million. There's,
No,
so how
no,
much
no,
is our
no,
insurance covering?
but that's what
Yeah.
has come in.
So we have a deductible that we'd have to pay.
We'll have,
Has already been paid?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Damage to the vehicles and the roofs that we had.
okay,
because of the hail damage.
yep.
Yes,
It's all under one.
Because I'm assuming there was damage at the annex as well?
I think that's already been fixed, hasn't
Has that
it?
already been?
Yeah.
They're working on the sheriff's, they're working on the sheriff's department, this week. There was damage on that roof.
Okay,
The sheriff.
Monday, they're bringing in,
Shingles, and Tuesday they will.
Tuesday they're working on.
You want to stand? You want to, please?
Monday, they'll be dropping off shingles at our office, and then Tuesday, they will be replacing the roof.
Okay,
So, and then they're gonna have a roll-on coat to go over the spray foam insulation that was dimpled during the hailstorms.
okay,
okay.
So they will be fixed by next week.
okay.
The jail will be 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay, 2 to 3 weeks on the jail for the rollover on the spray foam. Yes. It'll be a couple weeks for the rollover on the jail part of it, the spray foam. It'll be a couple weeks for it, but the actual shingles on the office side of it will be this week.
Okay. Thank you, Charles.
Yep.
Okay.
And then how much does it cost us to go through Farnsworth? For
It's a
for the
7.8% percentage fee.
percentage fee, 7?
Yes.
And this is just to get quotes.
Yes,
We're not signing up to go forward with the fixing and everything. This is to get some quotes to see what it would cost.
yes, for them to work on it.
Yeah, so then what she'll do is then she being Kelsey,
Yeah.
who we work with, she'll put out to do the public bids.
Bids.
For the roof.
Okay,
So we'll open those just like we have, the closed bids.
okay.
And go
then-
from there.
I mean, if we don't like those bids, we don't have to take them.
Right, okay.
Troy had already gotten one for over 900,000,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Is it leaking anywhere?
What's that?
There are
Is our
some,
roof leaking anywhere
It is.
right now?
It is, actually.
It is?
There's a few spots, yep.
so we're lucky it hasn't
And then
rained.
the gutters were also damaged.
Damaged,
Mhm.
okay.
This roof was put on in 1992.
Yeah. But we have to go through this person to get quotes.
We
We
have to
can't
go
go out
through
and get our own
No.
quotes without spending some.
Not
point.
according to the code of Iowa because of the cost of the magnitude of the project.
So this is the same one that we used for the windows.
Right, yep,
Okay.
yep, okay.
Whenever there's a huge project like this, according to the code, you have to go through this. You have to go through.
And then they check,
Yeah.
like they came through with the windows
You
again,
have to hire an architect. Yeah.
not too long ago to check to make sure we were still satisfied.
Oh, okay.
And then Troy walks them around.
Judy, does it have anything to do with it being an historical building? Doesn't that play into it as well?
That has a little bit, but it's mainly the code of Iowa and the architect saying that we have to do that with the size of the project. Yeah. It's been that way for years. So could I have your approval to sign this contract to move forward in getting the roof?
Does that money just come out of the general fund then, to pay for that? Or does
Yes.
that come out of our insurance?
So we'll get a check for the damage and then that's where the money will come from.
To pay
Oh.
the
to pay
architect?
fee.
Yeah. How does that get paid? Where does that money come out of?
It'll be coming out of the general fund, I would say.
Okay. And just to be clear, it's 7.8% of the
Of the cost of the
cost
project.
of the roof.
Yes.
We're paying. So if it was like a $750,000 job, we'd pay her 58,000.
I don't think you're gonna find it any cheaper anyplace else, that's the whole thing, so. Architects are not cheap, unfortunately.
No. Oh, man. That's kind of ridiculous. Man.
Again, here we go with the state of Iowa that wants us to,
Yeah,
yeah,
it doesn't make it
not
easy.
spend money, but, yeah. But put it in the code that we have to do that, so,
Yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
don't suppose there's any chance to use a different architect that would be cheaper.
It's not gonna be any cheaper. No, and this one is a tried and true, I think that they proved themselves with the window project.
Okay.
So,
Does this lock us into anything, so we've got to do it if we proceed, or?
no, I think she's just gonna go out and go for bids and come in with
See
the
where we're
projects. Yeah,
And then do we
And we'll
not
see where
pay
we
her,
come.
pay her till it's done, or we, after because if there's change orders during the thing
With the windows, I believe we paid in payments,
and payments,
if I remember correctly.
do we have that in the general fund?
we have,
We were down to like 170,000, weren't we?
we have money budgeted
Plus-
for certain things
for-
for the courthouse.
Is that like the courthouse maintenance?
Has to be done right away.
Yes, we need to. We don't want to have a lot of leaking or coming in. The longer we put it off, the longer we wait for it to be fixed.
So are they planning on going back with the same material?
That's debatable. That's,
'Cause they use
that's
copper,
question.
We
right?
have copper on there right now, and
Yeah.
that's the other thing, is
We can-
should be able to recycle that and get some money for that.
Okay.
That's, I mean, I
We'll
don't
see
know
how much copper's in
but-
that.
And then,
Do you know what the reason why we put copper on last time? Was it supposed to
Last forever?
last for, and not, I mean, it
No,
could
it
get
wasn't gonna last
dimpled a
forever.
little bit from hail, but shouldn't put.
We were putting it back on a historical building. We were restoring the courthouse at the time in 1991, so I mean, after the fire. And it was, at the time, it was done because it didn't turn green. We put copper on because it wouldn't turn green anymore because we weren't doing coal anymore, and that was just what it was at the time. Things have changed since then. There's a different kind now.
so what they've been suggesting is that standing seam metal roof.
There's some different things now. Not necessarily copper itself.
Right, okay.
And
So
we
it-
can look at different options
Yeah,
too.
Sure.
yeah, there are different options. If you come to the platform or to the podium, we should know.
I just wanted to share, because I've been around the courthouse for a lot of years. And I don't know if I can still find them or not, but we had water damage, like in the courtroom. It came in there, and the problem, and then the other thing I want to just say is that the importance of getting it done is, like, we also had water come in the auditor's office, and I can't remember if there was anybody else's office that it came in, but it came in and it came right down on our equipment, on our desks and on our equipment. So you have that stuff that is.
Electronic.
Yeah, the electronics are, I'm trying to think what we had to do. I think we worked out of different offices. I think we kind of moved
Covered
around.
everything over in plastic.
Yes, yes, every night. But then I think, didn't we go and work out of, I feel like we came up and one of us worked out of public health, maybe one of us was in the old boardroom. I felt like we had to move our offices around till it could get repaired
Get everything
enough.
fixed.
Yeah, and it has, sometimes those things I think had to do with, we had some really torrential,
Well, it gushed in the courtroom. It gushed in there.
yeah, and it was, it was wind
It
driven.
also came in here.
Yes, it came in here too, yeah. But it had to
Yeah.
do, I mean, you can't predict whether that's gonna happen again in the near future or not, but the weather is crazy, so but I just wanna say, it's not just, oh, the roof leaked a little bit, it's like what's under the roof. In the courtroom, it was right over the jury box, that presented a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Well, I'm assuming, I mean, our insurance, I would assume would pay most of it.
Right. We just need to move,
We just
we
have to
just
move-
need to move forward and figure out what's gonna happen.
Get bids.
Yeah, we got bids, so we know where we're going. And find out what the material is and move forward.
Because we can still use different materials, and we can
Right.
have a bid on different materials.
Yes, we just need to know what the bids, what,
But the insurance doesn't cover this architect. So that's gonna have to come out of our
Correct.
pocket. Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
So we need to move forward with the contract.
And I don't know if you remember this, Judy, but a part of the problem with like an old building like this that has all the angles and all that too, was that the leaks were very hard to pinpoint where they were coming
Exactly.
from. Because the water would come in.
Well, and then we had the gutters and
Yes.
other things that we had the issues with also.
Yeah.
And those need to be replaced right now too, and I think that's a part of the roof.
Yeah, but it would
System.
travel along beams, and so just because the leak was right there.
Doesn't
that might-
mean-
I mean, just because the damage and stuff was right there, the leak could be
Yeah,
someplace
Yeah,
else,
no,
so it's just hard.
yeah, and the seams and different things, so yeah.
You'd even old
It didn't-
building.
It didn't always go where the hole was.
Exactly, that's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say. I'm
Yeah.
sitting down now, I'm not
Yep.
gonna say more.
No, that's fine, you're right. You are definitely right, yeah. Definitely. So if I could have a motion,
I make a motion we proceed with the
okay,
bidding process.
could I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Okay, we will move forward with that, with the Farnsworth group. Okay, all right.
I say we table the next one.
We'll table the next one until Jim can be here the next time. Okay, board communication.
I had a Board of Health meeting today.
You do have Board of Health tonight?
Today.
Oh,
Yeah, but
today.
At noon, we had it at noon.
Oh, okay,
And we didn't have a quorum, but we did go review. Candace is taking on Mills County Tobacco and WIC.
she already
stuff.
did.
They lost theirs. So she's going to start doing some of that.
For who?
For Mills County.
Oh, from Mills County?
Mills County, yeah. So
Oh, because
This
Jack
isn't-
wanted to get rid of Board of Health.
they lost a lot
okay.
of their people up there.
So
And
is Mills County gonna pay her then?
we will get, right now, we're gonna get like $3,000 in the grant, just because it's already been so much time elapsed. And then if she continues with it, we'll get, the full grant money, to pay for that. But
Okay.
they're gonna give her till June to kind of see if it's too much for her to do, or if not.
Okay,
And then we're losing Jera.
we're losing Jara?
So, with her being a nurse, there's a lot of things that we can still do with the staffing that we have. But like for shots and things, one thing that we've talked about is possibly sharing Montgomery County nurse. Cause it's not a full-time job, and
Right.
it's not a lot of money. So, if things come up, I think we have a pretty good working relationship with them that we could borrow her, she can do some
Okay.
stuff for us. They don't have to do a lot, but, they're gonna rearrange some schedules in the office, just so there's people there to staff. But, yep, those are the two big things.
That is pretty big,
And,
okay,
Yep.
okay.
And she said she had talked to you about the, opioid money.
Yeah, we're
and
gonna
you got
go-
another meeting coming
We're
up
gonna talk, Kristen and I are going on Friday.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yep, we're gonna do that, okay.
And I think I've got a SWPCO meeting next week.
Okay. I went to a juvenile detention meeting in Council Bluffs on Wednesday. I missed a financial meeting with Wabansie today. Trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think so. And we're going to an opioid meeting with Sam on Friday morning. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, hopefully they got some good ideas.
I hope so,
to
because
what to do with that money.
we haven't spent any money.
No.
So hopefully we can start spending some of that money. And I did see, oops, where did Charles leave?
He left. I just thought he went there.
Oh, okay. I just saw where, was it Mills County? Gave some money to the sheriff. I was gonna ask him about that. Okay.
They want
And I
any
don't-
money for a roof, do they? Can you put a roof in there somewhere?
Whatever.
Help you.
Anyway, we'll see about that.
No,
Yeah.
just kidding. Just kidding.
Okay, okay, all right, moving on to the next one, let's go. Discuss action and approve claims.
Make a motion that we approve claims.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, yes, motion approved, okay. Discuss action meeting minutes from April 15th.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes as stated.
Okay,
Second.
all approved?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Okay. I wondered what that one was on there, okay. Okay, okay, and that's all right, we'll just cross that one off, and meeting to adjourn
Motion to adjourn.
at 4:52.
Second.
All approved?
Aye.
All right, motion approved. Okay.